Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Dominique and today I will be guiding you through a gentle prenatal yoga practice. For this practice, we will have 2 yoga blocks and a yoga bolster. If you have some sensitivity in your knees, then I also invite you to bring in either a yoga blanket, a towel, or anything that you can roll up and support your knees. We will get started in a seated position and I will show you how we will prepare. So it's up to you if you want to sit either on the bolster or if you want to sit on the blocks. I'm going to sit on the bolster and I'll show you how you can support your knees if you sit on the bolster and use the blocks. So you'll go ahead and place the bolster long ways and you'll sit a little bit more towards the front so that there's this positioning to where your knees feel a little bit lower than your hips. And if your knees are still pretty lifted, you can place one block underneath each knee for some extra support. We'll find integrity through the spine here, chin parallel to the earth and hands on top of the knees. I invite you to close the eyes and to take a moment to just check in. Check in with yourself, notice what's going on, no judgment or attachment. Just bring awareness to your body, to your breath, to your baby. And then allow the inhales and exhales to lengthen and become deeper. Breath is so important as we move throughout pregnancy. So make sure you take the time here to breathe. And then perhaps you start to lengthen the exhales. So if you're inhaling for 3, you'll exhale for 4. Keep the breath continuous. Avoid any restriction of the breath here. Notice the shift in your nervous system as you breathe, noticing stress and tension melting away. A few more moments here in stillness. Then if you would like, you can bring left hand to the heart and right hand to the belly. If you would like, you can give your baby a rub by rubbing the belly in a circular motion. And then eyes will begin to flutter back open. We'll release the hands back on top of the thighs. Then if you're using the blocks for support under your knees, just go ahead and place them alongside. And then very gently begin to bring yourself into an all-4 position. So we'll go ahead and move the bolster alongside the mat out of the way. Hands are on the earth or the blocks, it's up to you. And then again, if you need some extra support for your knees, you can go ahead and roll a blanket up and place it underneath the knees. We'll move through a few gentle cat-cow. So as you inhale, pull the chest through the biceps and gaze forward. As you exhale, round through the back. So as you move through your cat, you really want to think bra strap up. So pull the chest through the shoulders and round through the back. Move very gently here. Depending on where you are in your pregnancy, this will feel very different. There's no rush. Pull the chest through the biceps and then round through the back. We find our way into a neutral position, then start to wag your tailbone left and right. creating some space here, and perhaps you feel a little bit of a low back release. And then we start to move towards stillness. Create space between the feet. So the knees will still stay underneath the hips. The feet will be out towards the sides of the mat. Perhaps they come off of the mat. And then you'll find your bolster and bring it underneath your forearms. We'll rest here. Drop the head down towards the mat. And if you would like, you can stay in stillness, or you can rock the hips left and right again. Moving with care and ease here. One more round of breath. Then find stillness. Begin to press your way up. Hands are on the earth. We'll prepare for a child's pose. So this time our big toes will be together. Walk the knees out wide. Depending on how big your belly is, will determine how many props you need to stack up. So we'll sit back on the heels as we prepare with our props. If you need a lot of space between your belly and the mat, then you'll place your 2 blocks down. Then you'll place your bolster on top, and you'll walk down, and you can rest your head here. If you're earlier along in your pregnancy journey, then perhaps you only need the bolster, and you can move the blocks alongside, and you can bring your forearms on to the bolster and perhaps the head to the bolster or to the mat. Take your time to adjust the props as you see fit, and then allow yourself to rest and relax. Awareness back to the breath with inhales and exhales. And allowing the rib cage to expand with each inhale and contract with the exhale. Try to bring in 3 60-degree breaths. So as you inhale, space between the sides of the rib cage, expansion of the back and the chest. And as you exhale, everything deflates and comes back in together. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then eventually, with ease and care, slowly begin to press yourself up. Knees will come back in together, and we'll place the bolster alongside the mat as we set up for our next position. So if you're in either your first or your second trimester, you'll go into a Supta Konasana, and I'll show you what that looks like. There will be a little bit of a recline, so you'll take one block, put it on its highest setting. The next block will butt up against it on the lowest setting. And then you'll go ahead and place your bolster on top of the blocks. Just make sure the spacing is correct so that the bolster is stable. And the way to do that is to make sure that the corner of the bolster is on the mat. So then you'll go ahead and bring your low back up towards the bolster. If you're in your third trimester, I'll show you where you're going. It'll be a different position than this. So first and second trimester, lay back on the bolster, arms alongside the body. And you can bring the soles of the feet together, or you can extend the legs out long. You can also bring support in underneath your knees. And if you are in your third trimester, then you'll come into a side laying Shavasana. So how that looks will be, you'll have one block that you'll place on its lowest setting, and then the bolster will come on top of that. So you'll have one side of the bolster a little bit higher, the other side's going to be lower. You'll place the second block up towards the top of the mat in case you want to bring it in for support. Then you come onto your side, roll yourself down, and then you'll bring your right leg on top of the bolster for support, and you'll cradle your head with your left arm. You can also extend the arm long if you would like. Take any wiggles or adjustments that you need to find comfort here. And then whether you are in the reclined position or in the side laying position, you can bring your right hand to your navel space, connect to baby. Perhaps you bring awareness and sensation, loving energy with some rubs. Sending messages to the baby of love and care. Also gratitude and trust. And you can keep with this awareness, or you can release and let that go and allow yourself to sink into ease and rest here. Expressing gratitude to yourself for taking the time to take care of you, which ultimately takes care of baby. A couple of more rounds of breath here. If you are in a reclined position, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the earth, the knees close together. Then you'll start to roll over to one side to come off of the bolster. If you're in a side laying position, you'll remove your leg from the bolster. You'll press your right palm into the mat, and we'll all press up into a seated position. You can sit on the earth, or if you want to invite some props back in, just bring the props underneath you. Take your time as you adjust. Then we'll bring both of the hands on top of the thighs again. Close the eyes. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Bow your head. One more round of breath with a big, deep inhale. Exhale, let that go. Prayer hands come together, thumbs press into the heart space. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I will see you next time. Thank you.